a pitch for the series because it's so hard to figure out what it is.
So the pitch for the show was Fred calling me and saying, hey, can you meet me for coffee? And so we got some coffee, and he was like, do you want to do my new show? And I just said yes. And that was pretty much as much as I knew until I showed up. And then I showed up and I was like, what is this? And then it was just the two of us really walking around Fox with like 20 people and a camera crew. And then my agent was like, how was it? I was like, that was my dream job. I didn't really know what was going on, and I got to wear my own clothes, and it was pretty mellow.
Shiri was like, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, Shiri was in the pilot for us, and to build a show on the foundation of a show that doesn't exist, that foundation has to be as solid as you can make it. And so we needed to get someone for that show who was a phenomenal actress, someone who instantly brings kind of credibility and gravitas to a project, and someone who we're just genuine fans of. And Shiri just checked all those boxes.
This is like the best day of my life.
I mean, it's true. Like she was the first person we thought of, and kind of the only person that we called. And I just couldn't believe that she agreed to do it. And she was our first yes, and that just set us on our way.
It's so bizarre.
It's so bizarre.
I really want to know more about the Flair. Like, I really want to know what's going on in these
Do you want to know
episodes.
that we really want to make the Flair?
I know.
We really want the show, the Flair, to be its own show. But that's what's been so fun about it, is that you can just put stakes into it and like commit to it, and you didn't have to shoot the last 40 minutes.
Yeah, doing one scene at a time allows you a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Like things don't necessarily have to track. That was one of the fun things about when we put the cast together, to say like, how much can you work? You want to work one day? Work one day. You want to work 2 days? Work 2 days. Like we can just create the scenes around you. And that was the other big thing about getting someone like John Cassar to come and direct, was the same thing. Like he had one question. He goes, "Is the Flair real? Is it a bit or is it for real?" I'm like, "No, the Flair's a real thing. We're treating it as a real, genuine show." He's like, "I'm in." And he also loved the freedom and the flexibility that visually you can jump around all over the place. So we have some big action sequences. We have some very small, intimate two-person sequences for the Flair. We have scenes with 10 characters. We have scenes with 1 character. So there was a lot of different kind of sandboxes that John could play in, all within this one show, just doing one scene at a time.
It seems like you could really pitch things, even because there's no real set thing that has to be hit each time.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
And you're like saying lines like "wake up," and you're like, "Wake up from what? Why is he sleeping? What do I need him to wake up for?" It could be anything. The possibilities are endless.
Do you care that you really don't know what your motivation actually
You
is
never
for these?
really know. It's all made up. Right?
Yeah.
But you find some kernel of truth. I think you find some kernel of truth to play. I mean, we got great actors. Like when we did the show. The show, even now, it's like it's a little engine that could. It's a small, low budget, late Sunday night show for Fox, and so we just poured ourselves into it. And our big mantra was, I kept saying, like, I want people we don't deserve. I want people we don't deserve. In front of the camera, behind the camera, people that we can't get, people that people say, oh, you're crazy to ask them to come do it. But that's kind of what I wanted. That was the mantra. And so that's how you get Shiri Appleby and John Cassar, and Kevin Zegers, and Tyler Ritter. And I think that for any other actor, like in lesser hands, they probably wouldn't care about what the show's about, show up, do my lines, figure it out, fake it. But all of these actors have really found, sometimes we write it in the scenes, but a lot of times the homework is kind of left to them to figure out like why, to Shiri's thing. But like it's to their credit that they have all thrown themselves into this and pushed themselves beyond what the 3 or 4 pages of the script that we've written to really find out whether they share it with us or not, but within themselves they found some truth to these moments, and they've made it better than we could have ever imagined. I mean, the Flair, we always wanted the Flair to be real, we always wanted to treat it as real, but the fact that people really want it to be an actual show, the fact that you're really genuine genuinely invested.
I really want to know about it. Yeah.
That's entirely a credit to Shiri and John and the rest of the cast. I mean, we're incredibly lucky, and that's why this mantra of like, I want people we don't deserve, like we don't deserve them, and they've made the show so much better than we could have ever imagined.
And I love this whole thing where there's the running gag of the spoilers.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's been spoiled for you?
Oh, the worst thing that's been spoiled for me? Oh, man.
What has been spoiled?
This was actually a pleasant spoiler, but it was a spoiler nonetheless. I was doing a bunch of meetings at Marvel. I was working on something with Marvel. And I needed, in order to work on this thing that we were developing, I needed to know how Endgame turned out. And so, like, we were talking about this project, and we met several times, and they're like, we need to tell you about Endgame. And I'm like, please don't. And they're like, because the movie was going to come out in, like, I don't know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
1 second, we're stopping for a commercial break.
Yes.
We have a commercial break happening. Anyways, here we go. We're back from commercial.
I was like, yeah, thank you. I said, please don't spoil Endgame. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, I'm at work. Like, I'm in a meeting. Like, I have to stop being a fan and be like a professional.
But you can't, though.
Well, I never had a moment where my fandom and my professional life intersected in that exact way. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, please don't tell me. And finally I was like, wait, you have to, because I'm at work and my job requires it. And so they told me Endgame. They told me everything. They told me about the blip. They told me how it ended. They told me everything. And it was hard. It was hard, but it was a happy reason. So that was probably the biggest spoiler. Was that?
That's a huge spoiler.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I don't really have any spoilers of things I've heard from TV shows. I don't.
They have you go out and do, like, when you go visit somebody's house and try and do stuff like that. Is that stuff that you've come up with, or is that, I mean, how does that work?
Well, the show has always been a hybrid of kind of two main kinds of shows.
Right.
You know, we have one toe definitely in the after show world, the Talking Dead, Watch What Happens Live world, and then we have another toe very much in the late night world. Jimmy Kimmel Live, Conan O'Brien, David Letterman. And so we've tried to blend those two shows. So the idea of comedy field pieces has always been a part of the show from the pilot. That's what we did with Shiri when she took me on a set visit, and that's something that's going to be in an episode in a couple of weeks. And so that's always been a part of the show. Sometimes they're very much flair-based, like the set visit with Shiri. Some we have a little tone it, kind of like in the first episode we went to go interview Helen Mirren at her house. And some, we kind of we start the flair and then go somewhere else entirely. So that was always part of the show, and so we came up with a lot of, we came up with these ideas. Me and Matt and Dave came up with a lot of the ideas, and then when we were doing the first season, we have a team of writers, and all of them have some experience, in the talk show world. Our head writer Adam Lowett came from The Daily Show for 20 years. We have writers from Corden, from Fallon, from Samantha Bee. So we have kind of writers from all different backgrounds of talk shows, and so we also just have straight comedians, and so we all kind of come up with these field pieces together. We pitch a ton of ideas. We have this big board of dozens of ideas, and then we try to figure out which ones fit best with the episode, which ones are the most producible, which ones we think are the funniest.
1 second. We have
Hold on, one more commercial break.
Yeah. See this. I bring my kids to set, but not. So anyways, I said this is an image of a man doing it.
Yeah.
Do it all.
You don't see this all the time.
Yeah, what happened there was we got a bag of candy at one of the stops, and I said you can open it later. But apparently the bag broke.
Oh, yeah.
So now he wants to leave.
Bags do that.
Look, it's open.
It broke.
It broke. It's fair game.
Presents unwrap themselves.
Yeah. So
Bags break.
Who knows how that happened?
We don't know how the bag opened, but we know it's close enough for the candy to go into the mouth.
That's right. That's right.
What is your favorite guest so far that you've had on the talk show portion?
I mean, I will tell you, I am so endlessly appreciative of and grateful for everyone who's come on this show. they have all taken an incredible leap of faith into a show that is very different, that they might not understand themselves, that we're just figuring out how to do. And so everyone, obviously, whether it's Shiri or Tyler or Kevin, or people who've come on as guests, Rob Lowe is a good friend of mine, was our very first guest, but everyone from Rob Lowe to Tiffany Haddish, who I didn't know, who just wanted to come do something weird. Eric Stone Street's a guest, he's someone who I've worked with a lot. The cast of 90210. Vince Gilligan came on and did something for us. I mean,
the cast of 90210.
They're going to be on tonight.
Say it again.
Brenda.
So I mean, I am so grateful and thankful for the people that have come to do that, and I just appreciate all of them. But we've gotten just such an incredible cross-section of actors, comedians, writers, directors. It's just been a real embarrassment of riches, and I'm so appreciative to all of them for just jumping on this ride with us and going through it.
Thank you guys. So appreciate the